All right, guys. Current time is 4:48 p.m. Welcome to the stream. We have a severe thunderstorm warning that just got issued seconds ago for Alger as well as northern Luce County. This storm has been a storm we've been watching for the past about 15 minutes or so. It's continued to develop a outflow boundary, lake breeze boundary actually. You can see the boundary right here. This is a classic lake breeze that this storm is formed on. And as such, it is now severe with hail as your primary risk up to 1-inch quarter size. So quarters or 1-inch in diameter. And it's going to be right on the Alger and Luce County line. This is going to be the UP. Zooming out though, the good news we talked about earlier this morning on the video yesterday, we were expecting a line to form somewhere over here and push, south and east, but so far today that's not happened. So things have been pretty tame so far, but we have enough to get this storm up and going. It is now warned for hail. So places included in this warning. So you guys zoom in here. Deer Park, Pine Stump Junction. There's just not a lot of places out here. The UP is pretty rural in nature. There's just not much out here. There's no towns in the path of this that I see. 412, 500, 414, and 410 are all roads here, as well as Highway 37. That's it. This is going to be a pretty isolated incidence up here in the Luce County area. This storm is in northwestern Luce County, and animating this, it is moving to the east-northeast at right around 40 miles per hour. And the hazard is quarter-size hail. And not seeing anything rotation-wise, not seeing anything wind-wise with this storm. Turn the hail tracker on, you're going to see there's your hail. The brighter colors there, the reds, the pinks, the white grayish color. That's your really intense hail core there. And that's going to move to the east-northeast here at 40 miles per hour. The good news, though, Deer Park and Pine Stump Junction are the only townships or perhaps populated centers in northern Luce County. So otherwise, this is affecting very isolated regions of the state. A severe thunderstorm watch continues for central and eastern portions of the UP. But as I just mentioned, though, there's not a lot going on out there. There's definitely a lack of storms in the UP currently. That may change still as we go through the evening hours, but what we did expect earlier, but a line of storms that popped up and kind of moved its way eastward, and that's not happening. At least right now it's not happening. Further downstate, yeah, there's really no severe expected today further downstate unless you're in the very far northwest corner like Traverse City, Manistee, Petoskey areas. In fact, the radar currently, as of 4:51 p.m. Eastern, we're clear across the state. There is nothing on radar. It's just a hot and sunny day out there for the LP. Pinckney is out of power. It's too hot for this. Yeah, I mean, you're going to have some power outages with the heat today. That's unfortunate. But that's also expected. When you get really hot, people on the ACs and the electrical grid gets kind of wore down. That's to be expected. Yeah, the Streamlab bot will time you out if you type in all caps. That is how it's programmed. That's a rule we have here. Hot is understatement. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is really hot and muggy out there. So again, just joining us here, we are live for a severe thunderstorm warning in Alger and Luce counties here, just south and a little bit east of Grand Marais. The good news, though, is there's really not much in the way of populated areas that are impacted by this particular cell. So once this clears the warning polygon, we're probably going to pop out of here because, again, there's really not much happening out there. I would expect, and I would watch this boundary very closely through the evening hours. This is a lake breeze boundary that is pushing inland here, and that can provide a source of lift as well as a little bit of extra wind shear there. So that may spark additional storms close to that boundary as evening goes on. But right now, the only concern in the state is this storm. It's going to be over 410 and Highway 37 here between Deer Park and Pine Stump Junction in the next couple of minutes. Hello from Illinois. What is up, Illinois? Yeah, we won't be live for too long, that's for sure. Unless something else that pops up and goes severe in the next 10, 15 minutes. Although right now there's just nothing out there that would warrant that attention or concern. So this will probably be a quick live stream. We'll get round 2, part 2 set up just in case to go live a little bit later on this evening. For the most part, there's just not much happening besides this one storm. There are power lines down over 94 near Zeeb Road, caused a backup on 94 East and West. Thank you for that report. I can't confirm that, obviously, but viewer reporting a backup there by Zeeb Road, which is just west of Ann Arbor. That's my local area, actually. So, what's up, Mary from Britain? You're my neighbor. Hello, neighbor. Madison says, I think you should take over the U.S. like Ryan Hall. I would like to do that eventually, years in the future maybe, but focus is always going to be on Michigan. Michigan and Indiana. We have Indiana staff as well who help us out. So those 2 states are our main focus. There's really no need for us to expand right now. Max Velocity, Ryan Hall, they got you in good hands. All right, so it looks like the storm continues to track eastward here. If this continues on eastward track, it's going to track into, is this Chippewa? Northern Chippewa County, I believe. Yeah, I got it right, Chippewa County. So northern Chippewa may get a extended warning here, but really there's Whitefish Point, Vermilion, and there's Paradise up there, but there's really not much else in northern Chippewa County there. So we'll have to see how it kind of plays out here. Tracking this to the east, it looks like it's going to stay on land here for a little bit longer. So northern Chippewa, I would be on alert as this storm moves your way if you're in the Whitefish Point area, Paradise, or Vermilion general region. This is heading your direction. Yeah, this warning is in effect for 34 more minutes. That puts us right around 5:30 p.m. Eastern time before that expires. We'll see if they extend it into Chippewa or not. They may decide to go special weather statement with it as well. Let's see what they do up in Marquette. Actually, this is going to be Gaylord's County, I believe. This is going to be NWS Gaylord, if I'm not mistaken. So let's see what Gaylord does. Taking a peek, though, at our hail tracker, that continues to be quite a potent hail core. A little bit delayed there on radar. But that's going to be moving right up there. Like I said before, 410 and H37, Highway 37, just south of Lake Superior. They just trimmed back the warning, continued it for quarter-size hail. And the wind with this should be less than 50 miles per hour, which puts it below severe criteria for wind gusts. But still, the hail risk is very much here with this particular storm. Looking at the advanced radar tools behind the scenes here, checking out how deep this hail core is. It's got a nice hail core to about 25,000 feet. That's pretty potent in terms of how strong the updraft is. So definitely of concern here, especially on this part of the storm down on the southern end. This area likely has the largest hail, and probably some scattered throughout up here and up here as well. But right now, this area right there has the biggest hail, according to my radar that I have here behind the scenes. In fact, I wonder if I can... Aha, I can. Cool. So if I go up to my tilt here, you can see there's about 55 dBz, so darker reds there. And we go down one more to tilt 2, we're going to see that hail core there. That's at 23,000 feet in the atmosphere. So that's very, very potent, very, very tall hail core, this particular storm. Borderline severe, for sure. How many of you guys watching are without power? I see a couple comments in there about power and stuff like that. So let us know how many of you guys are actually without power across the state today. I can look at the map here, but I wonder if we're underestimating how many people are actually out of power currently. It says 9,000 customers are without power, centered around Montcalm County and Otsego County, but also I see some in Alcona, I see some in Livingston County, as well as Hillsdale and Lenawee too. So how many of you guys are actually without power? So let's not leave it sit here and animate it. It's kind of, these warnings are actually kind of, not going to say fun, but they're more relaxed because there's not many people being impacted by this, if any at all right now, which is really cool. Of course, there's a few people who live up there, yes, but we're not talking about like a large populated center area, or, we're not talking large hail or, huge winds or anything tornadic. It's just kind of a base severe, and it's impacting probably less than 30 people, if that. These are my favorite types of streams where nothing really happens. It's not really impacting a lot of people. It's more relaxed and laid back here. But regardless, north central to be exact, Luce County here, likely getting some larger hail, heavy rain, probably some gusty winds as well that are not severe. Hail risk definitely of concern with this storm. Looking on the hail tracker, see what's updated, and yeah, it actually is. And you can kind of see here, it was definitely a lot stronger when it first went warned back here in Alger County, and as it's moved off to the east-northeast, that hail core has diminished here. So that's good news. We're likely seeing the hail core collapse on itself. So I wonder if we're going to get a cancellation of this warning early, perhaps, from NWS. So I'll have to see what they do here. This is, I believe, still Marquette. This actually might be Gaylord here. Let's go ahead and check the warning here. Marquette. So Chippewa and Mackinac are Gaylord. Yeah, severe chances will continue through the evening here for the UP as well as northern lower. But again, there's really not much on radar that warrants attention for right now. Further south here, like we just talked about 10 minutes ago, there's not a drop of rain on the radar here for northern lower. Here's western lower, and then also southeastern. There's nothing out there. There is, however, well, there was. I was going to say there is a complex here that's pushing across Lake Michigan, but as you can see, that is also since decayed. Look at what it was back here. Drew and I were around here talking about probably an hour ago maybe, and this is what we're talking about. Is it going to make it across the lake for the Manistee area? And that's just completely just died out. So that's no longer a concern either. So far today, we're okay. This is a beefy lake breeze boundary here that is formed in Alger as well as, yeah, Alger County and Schoolcraft County. Also into Marquette County. We're likely going to see more storms fire along this boundary here as the afternoon and evening goes on. I'll bet you we're going to see more storms pop along that boundary. Trinary was never under a warning for this storm, so that's why he didn't get anything. I'm curious, guys, while we're kind of having some fun with this, but also kind of relaxed. What do you guys keep the thermostat in your house at during the summertime on hot days like this? I'm just curious. Hey, Casey, there is nothing on the radar further south. Nothing. So you're all clear. There is a chance for a pop-up storm through the evening and overnight period, but 99% of you guys will stay dry further south. '70, 73, 68. Dang. 74, 62. And there is our SWS. They decided to forgo the warning and go SWS instead. This is from NWS Gaylord. Wind gusts up to 50, as well as nickel-sized hail. That's basically as high as you can go without actually warning it. So that's a pretty high-end statement. We'll stay on until this storm is no longer posing a threat. 77, 68, 72, 70, 72, 75, 73. All right, so I feel pretty normal then. Cool. Yeah, the winds out there are definitely cranking 15 to 30 across the state today. 80 in the day, 74 at night. AC set to 72, 75, 76. All right, cool. Personally, here at the MSC HQ, it is set usually to 74. But on hot days like this, when it runs continuously, we'll bump it up to 75, 76 and let it run at that point. But it feels good. I have my setup here stream-wise where I have the AC vent pointing right at me at all times. So I'm actually keeping quite cool in here, which is really cool. I just noticed that my lighting is very dark. I apologize, guys. I'll turn that up just a bit. That better? I'm leaning back here. I'm relaxed, so. There we go. That should be a little better for you. So the warning will likely be for a statement. Again, that's going to be northern Chippewa for Paradise, Whitefish Point, and Vermilion, and Goose Marsh. If any of you guys are camping or living in that area in northern Chippewa, this storm is heading your direction. Likely some medium-sized hail, nickel size to be exact, according to the statement, as well as 50-mile-per-hour winds, enough to relocate your tent, but not relocate a tree into your house. Unless your tent is your house for the weekend or for the week. That's a little bit different, but you can see the top of the storm complex on Grand Marais from here in Even Junction. Okay, thank you, Jeff, for that report. No problem, guys. We have not missed a warning yet in 3 years of our existence, and we don't plan to in the future. All right, I see a lot of questions being asked for downstate areas. So if you're down here, anywhere in the lower part of Michigan, right now there is not a drop of rain happening. It is completely dry. Okay? Now, later on this evening, there is potential further north and further west for some storms to fire up and become strong, perhaps severe. Those may push a little further south here toward the Tri-Cities, Mount Pleasant, maybe even Grand Rapids later tonight. But for right now, the models that depicted that happening have not been correct today. So really, we have no idea what's going to happen Right now, we're dry other than this area up here in the UP that's currently warned and or statemented. So if you're asking further south, the answer for right now is nothing is happening and nothing's expected to happen for several more hours, especially if you're down here south in 96 like Lansing, Detroit, Jackson, Kalamazoo areas. You should be dry for the rest of the day and night. Further south or further north, up north of Mount Pleasant especially, they have a chance tonight for some rain and some storms that may be strong or severe. That's a big if, though. Based on how today is trending, we're just not really certain. This looks nothing like, if you guys were in the briefing this morning, this looks nothing like what we talked about this morning. Thank you, Susan, for that. We're actually pretty close here to the Canadian radar, way up here, KSA or KASMR. ASMR. I just realized it's CASMR. That's crazy for a radar name, but that's a Canadian radar, and it has a better look at this cell. Let's go ahead and take a peek at velocity. Maybe some gusty winds happening in there now. We'll see here. The warning continues for quarter-size hail, but no severe winds are expected. It says less than 50. And the statement over here for Chippewa says 50 miles per hour at most. So right around 50 or so expect for your winds. Yeah, the radar is literally labeled CASMR. I don't know if that's just funny to me or if it's actually legitimately funny, but I find that hilarious. Have to watch as well with this lake breeze boundary. If any storms do attach itself to it, including this one, although for right now I'm not seeing signs of anything, but we could see some enhanced wind shear that may enhance gusty winds. And sometimes, in rare cases, it can enhance shear and spin for anything tornadic. Now, we don't expect that to really happen today. There's a chance, but based on radar trends and such, I just don't see it happening. But if these storms can attach itself on the boundary directly, it has a chance to enhance the wind shear there and perhaps some spin as well. But right now, not seeing that with this storm, which is good news. Let's go ahead and take this back to our 7-frame animation, and there we go, reset itself. Windows are reading 110. That is crazy. Crazy. What is my heat index doing here? I got a weather station out back in the shade. The heat index is actually measured in the shade. My current temperature here in Lenawee County is 97.5 degrees. That's real temperature. And the current heat index is 102.6. I don't care if it's 102 or 92. It is hot. Hot, hot, hot. In the Sioux right now, what's up? You guys should be cutting it close here. This storm has turned more to the right. It's also back building back here too. So maybe we have a tail here that could swing your way in the Sioux. So if you're over there in Sault Ste. Marie watching, you got about an hour before it gets to you. But for the most part, this should travel mainly north of you, unless something develops to the south of it. It's kind of tracking. I don't know. It's close. It'll be close. Take back our ASMR radar. I'm not gonna call it that. Just thank you, Andrew, if you're watching this stream, for tagging me on Twitter with that picture. Appreciate it. Got a picture of the cell up here. You too, Brian. You too. So this severe warning continues for northern Luce County until 5:30. Got 15 more minutes on this warning. And then it's going to move into Chippewa County, and that has a statement on it for 50-mile-per-hour winds as well as nickel-sized hail. This is the only severe storm in the state currently. There is potential for more severe later on as evening progresses, but for right now, there's nothing on radar besides this storm that warrants attention. There were supposed to be more storms that kind of popped up here and pushed their way to the east-southeast, but that has not happened, which is great news. We have a busy week ahead, so if we're quieter today, that is a fine by my book. Fine by my book. Looks like they either just canceled this or updated this warning. I'm going to wait and see here what happens. What happened with this. They trimmed it back significantly, and it's only for the very far extreme north and east corner of Luce County. Continued for quarter-size hail. No damaging winds are expected. Any winds that do occur should be less than 50 miles per hour. Is the Q word now banned here? Quiet. Am I not supposed to say that? I will say this hail core is just outside the warning polygon now, down here by Highway 123. There are no towns still. What is this? This is Betsy Lake. It's moving towards. So anybody near Betsy Lake should be indoors, away from windows as the storm passes. Let's take a peek at our hail core on this cell. This is our advanced radar that I use. Joel uses this a lot as well. Joel, I think, primarily uses only GR2. It's a really good product. Let's go ahead and go up here to tilt 2. And we're losing our hail core at 27,000 feet. Let's go down 1. Yeah, this is actually, it's definitely weakening, that's for sure. So that's good news. This warning should drop off here in 13 minutes or less. The core is not as tall as it once was, which means that the hail likely is not as big as it once was. So again, Paradise, Whitefish Point, and Vermilion, anywhere between those areas. This is where the storm is heading in northern Chippewa County. and that is where you guys should be indoors or in a sturdy structure as the storm passes. It is not warned in Chippewa County, but it is statemented for 50-mile-per-hour winds as well as nickel size hail, which is 0.88 inches, and severe is just a tenth of an inch larger. So it's close to, just not quite to severe. It's about as high of a statement as you can get before a warning is issued. How's severe weather looking tonight for Sault Ste. Marie? There's a potential for it, for sure. Although right now, based on the current radar, I would say that's much lower risk than it was a few nights ago. Or a few nights ago. A few hours ago. I am getting tired here. If you caught the briefing at 10 a.m., we talked about a line of storms kind of progressing east-southeastward here. As you can see on radar, there ain't nothing happening. So, all we got to talk about right now is up here in Luce, as well as Chippewa County. And that is it. And that also goes for the entirety of the UP, east and central part especially, and also northwest lower Michigan. There's just not much happening out there. Hydrate reminder, that's actually a good reminder. Good reminder there. I am going to pop open our weather cameras. I do not have a camera up in this location, but we can also take a peek around the state, because why not? Get this loaded in here real quick. Pop myself off the screen there. I'm going to pop this on here once it loads up for you guys here in just a second. But yeah, if you're just tuning in here, severe thunderstorm warning continues for northern, extreme northeastern Luce County, and then a statement, which is a step below severe, in effect there for northern Chippewa County until the warning's until 5:30, so 8 more minutes there. The statement is for 20 more minutes, which puts it right around 5:45. These cameras are loading up here. Give me a second. See if we can't switch this over. I can't yet, so give it a second here. New statement popping in here, just a little bit further south than the old one, and wind gusts to 50 as well as half-inch hail. So the hail is coming down on this one. Wind gusts remain to 50. So just a little sliver to the south of the old statement here. Snug Harbor and Timber Lost, as well as Emerson, included in that new statement. These cameras are taking forever to load up. It might be my internet. This is never really happens. But I do know I have a lot of lagging today. And the warning has now, looks like it's been dropped, as the warning bar has just been updated there. So that's really good news. So we're just now in statement ops, which means technically we could hop out of here if we wanted to. But we're going to wait a few more minutes here until this storm doesn't look threatening anymore. So for right now, we're just going to chill out here and kind of hang out. So if you guys got questions, feel free to drop them in chat. We'll stay live for at least a few more minutes here. Oh, look, the camera's actually loaded here. Let's go ahead and see if I can switch this over here yet. I can't. Why, though? I wonder why I can't switch it. That's weird. There we go. Now I can switch it. It was a problem on the streaming software. I wish I thought it was. There's a look at Charlotte. Nice, beautiful day out there. Hot, though. There's Dearborn. Good old Harbor Beach. Although, let me take the warning bar off so you guys can see that. You can't even see the best part. There you go. Let's go through here. Manistee. Manistee West. The old stone porch there in Ionia. There's a Guardian HQ there in Burton. There's a Wolverine camera up there by Wolverine. And we're back to Charlotte. So we have more cameras coming soon, guys. And if you're interested in sponsoring one of these cameras, get a hold of us. Because we have quite a few more locations needed and new locations in the works with businesses and new sponsors here. So looking forward to it. Again, this is the only area in Michigan currently that's raining. We have the Luce as well as Chippewa counties. That is it. There's nothing else happening further south here. We actually have a pop-up cell that has developed just west of Ludington. We're going to have to keep an eye on that now too. That, again, with these patterns and with today especially, there's a lot of uncertainty that goes into these setups. And this actually is moving into a good environment here too, as Drew is messaging behind the scenes. This is actually a pretty good setup or a pretty good environment out ahead of these storms that they can maintain itself. So I keep an eye on that. Let's go back to the Manistee camera actually and take a peek at that again. This is facing to the west here. So this is looking probably over on the left side of your screen. Not in sight yet, but it will be a good view here as this cell continues to traverse its way eastward. But yeah, overall, there is a chance for a pop-up storm, especially if you're north of Mount Pleasant today. But really it could be as far south as Grand Rapids or Flint, points northward then. If you're south of there, the risk for anything rain or storm-wise today is much, much lower. If you're north of that region, though, you have a chance through the evening and even the overnight hours of perhaps some strong storms, some which could be severe in nature. But again, the models have handled today terribly. So our confidence in anything happening is quite low. What I can tell you, if storms do pop up, it's in a good environment. A lot of CAPE out there, storm fuel. There's a good amount of wind shear as well. Not an overabundance of wind shear, but enough to organize some things. And there's also a lot of D-CAPE, downdraft CAPE, which aids in gusty winds via microburst and or downburst. So there's potential out there. Wind, primary concern, hail, secondary concern, and a brief tornado cannot be ruled out today. But that window is closing here as we get later on in the evening. All right, going back up here to the radar. Let's take a look here. Man, I don't like any one of these radars. Let's leave it on Marquette's. Yep, no warnings in effect here, just some statements. This statement back here is going to expire in about 2 minutes. It's going to be for, pop open my other radar software here. Give me a second. Most of northern Luce County, Alger County, as well as Schoolcraft County, and then Chippewa County as well. But the big box here, the blue box, is going to expire in about a minute. While we have a break in the action, I'm going to watch the cell here very closely for Chippewa. It has a good hail core on it, again, via radar. So it may go back warned. So we're going to stay on until it exits off onto the water here. It is out of our hair. But in the meantime, though, I'm going to give a shout out to a couple of our sponsors here. We just talked about our Skycams, Guardian, based out of the Burton area for security, audio, and video needs. Get a hold of Guardian. We also have Rainbow Restoration, based in Kent County, A-Class Construction, based in Mason County, Top Gun Roofing Exteriors, based in West Michigan, Floor Coverings Michiana, for any flooring needs, Shield Public Adjusters, for any insurance claim you may need to file, Schneider Commercial Building Solutions, for roofing and commercial building solutions. Get a hold of Schneider. On Top Roofing, Southeast Michigan Roofing, FBI buildings for most of Lower Michigan, and there is our warning here, guys. We're going to leave it off right there at FBI and take a peek back here at this warning. This is going to be for quarter-size hail as well as 60-mile-per-hour winds. This is actually not a surprise at all. I was watching that hail core before I started reading sponsors out there. I could tell that hail core was intensifying once again. So here we go. The good news, though, is this is not going to be on land very long at all. The bad news is there's a second storm behind that that could pose a risk as well. So this warning is going to be until 5:45 p.m. Eastern Time. It's going to include, zooming way in here, Paradise, Snug Harbor, Emerson, White House Landing. Looks like that's it. 123 as well. Close to, I was about to say close to Canadian border, but it's not quite close just yet. But it won't be on land very long at all. Finishing up our sponsors, though, we have Gull Lake Tree Pro, based in the Kalamazoo area for tree needs, Kuiper Tree Care in the Grand Rapids area, McKay Tree Specialist in the Southeast Michigan area, Mike Hayes Roofing and Siding, based in the Thumb, Katz Roofing and Siding, our spotlight sponsor today, based in Lansing, Michigan, for any roofing, siding, window gutter needs across South Central Michigan. Get a hold of Katz Roofing and Siding, 517-485-9886. We also have Lifestyle Exteriors, also based out of the Lansing area. And last but not least, we have Storm Guard Roofing Construction, based in Southeast Michigan. Our sponsors here keep operations rocking and rolling here, as well as provide services to you guys. They're all vetted, trusted partners that we partner with to provide services to you. So if you happen to need services from them, get a hold of us or them directly, and we can put you in touch with the proper people. All right, let's go ahead and zoom back in here. The hail core has now crossed into Chippewa County, located over Goose Marsh, heading right for Paradise. Let's check out our velocity on this. We have seen, yeah, definitely an increase there. That's probably a classic downburst. It's really hard to depict here because the radar is actually looking, get this, the radar is actually looking 12,000 feet in the atmosphere at this location. That is a very high beam height. So what's happening below this, we have no idea. The good news, though, is we have ASMR radar up here that is getting a pretty good look at it, and you can tell there's definitely some type of downburst going on within this storm. The bad news with Canadian radars is they only update once every 7 minutes. They don't have varying speeds. I don't know if they have the option to, but this storm is delayed here on this radar. It's actually well ahead of this. This is actually 10 minutes old, so that's not going to do us much of any good either. So I guess we're going to take a peek back here at Marquette's radar and just leave it there. Regardless, though, good size hail core falling. The radar is indicating hail up to 1.25 inches in diameter, so roughly quarter size hail likely falling here as this storm moves along 123 into Paradise. This is the only storm in the state currently warned. I would not be shocked if this storm behind it gets at least a statement or perhaps a warning as well. Back here, I also want to take note in Marquette County, this lake breeze looks like it sparked off a shower or storm back there. We're going to keep an eye on that as well. But otherwise, we are pretty quiet here across the state. Taking a peek back down here at those storms on Lake Michigan. They have not gotten organized as of this time. We'll watch those, though, as they push toward Ludington and Manistee areas along 31 here the next half hour or so. Thanks, Megan. See ya. Pop open the advanced radar here and take a peek at what's going on. These hail cores are actually looking pretty decent. Yeah, that one behind it, this one, center of your screen, that could use a warning or perhaps a statement there from NWS. Of course, I'm not telling them to do their job, but looking at the radar here, good core, hail core up to about 25,000 feet. And this cell that's currently warned as well has the exact same signature. So both cells look pretty identical in nature here, but regardless, likely some hail falling in pretty isolated areas up here, rural areas. I can't imagine the population is very large. In fact, I can actually take a peek here at the population size if I can toggle this on. Let's try that again. Click, 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 and then drag. There we go. Let's go 40. Population says 0. I'm not sure if that's completely accurate or not, but my population guide here says 0 is the population affected by these warnings. I'm sure there's some people up there camping or living up there. It can't be 0. How do I cancel my subscription to Hell on Earth, please? I don't know how to do that. I do not know how to do that. What I can tell you, though, is the hail core is now directly moving into Paradise. Ironically, there's a Hell, Michigan, and there's also a Paradise, Michigan. And we are currently experiencing conditions opposite of the area we're talking about right now. The radar I'm using here has hail indications of 1.78 inches in diameter. I'm not going to confirm that's actually happening, but I do think that the hail core on this particular storm is very potent. Yeah, Gaylor's, it's just, you don't have a good look at it either way. But this hail core is likely dropping quarter-size hail at least. Yeah, I'm getting close to 60 dBz up to 31,000 feet. That is a very, very tall hail core. Would not be shocked to see a little bit larger than quarters here falling, moving into Paradise. So anywhere you see the purple or black on your screen there, that is the area of interest, of concern for some larger hail. Definitely a good signature on radar. Would not be shocked to see larger than quarters here. $0.50 perhaps. The warning, though, however, says quarters. We'll see how many reports come out of the area. I can't imagine we're going to get too many reports based on the population in this area, but you never know. Warning is good for 7 more minutes. That puts us at 5:45 p.m. Eastern. We'll see if they extend it or if they cancel it. Have to keep an eye on this cell back here as well. Currently not statemented or warned, latest scan does weaken just a bit. That's good news. And look what we got here. We got cells popping up. If you guys been watching here for the last 50 minutes or so, I've been talking about this lake breeze boundary here that may fire off storms, will likely fire off storms, and check out what's happening down here by Hiawatha. We have cells developing. So we are getting underway here with potentially some more storms popping up. Does not help that the ASMR radar is not updating properly. The scan on your screen is 11 minutes old. That does us no good. Radar indicating already good hail core popping up here in the cell in Schoolcraft County, just south of Germfask. We'll keep an eye on that. Warning is expiring in 4 minutes. I would expect them to reissue one here for the Paradise area. This storm is not going to clear land in 4 minutes. Also, we got this one back here behind it that could also become strong as well. So we'll see what they do here, if anything. I would suggest that they're going to have to do something with this cell. Either a statement or another warning, but that's just a guess. Radar indications still say 1.84 inch diameter hail falling here. So even radar's picking up that, hey, this could be a little bit bigger than quarters falling. Yeah, the center of the hail core is actually directly over Paradise. Yeah, there's population there. I'm sure we'll get some type of reports coming out of the area. We'll see what happens with it, though. I think the biggest question in my mind is what are they going to do with this warning? Are they going to reissue one for both storms or just a sliver here? Because the land water is this black line here. And the hail core has not cleared that. Yeah, thunderstorms do not like cold water. That is correct. Taking a peek back down here at that cell just south of Germfast, that has continued to intensify. And that also has some hail core on it now as well to pick up So maybe a perhaps strengthening storm down here in southern Schoolcraft County as well. Radar indicating hail's over an inch with that storm already. Let's take a peek at that on radar. We're at what, 6,000 feet there? Let's go up. Oh wow, good hail core on that. Very good hail core on that. Yeah, that could definitely use a likely a statement or a warning coming in for Schoolcraft County here for that cell if that continues. Good radar indication that hail is pretty big. And meanwhile, this warning is about to drop off here in 1 minute. And lo and behold, as I just blurted that out, we have a statement coming in for Schoolcraft County. Let's see if it populates here. There it is. Not a surprise there. Half-inch hail and winds in excess of 30. So they're going with about penny size, dime to penny size hail with that storm. And the warning has been dropped now for this cell as that moves. I guess they timed it pretty good. The bulk of it's over water now. Still got some lingering hail up just north of Paradise there. And also we have a second cell behind it. Well, let's see what they do, if anything. But for right now, they're going to let that warning go. So now we're back into kind of like a wait and see mode here. Yeah, that cell I was just talking about there in Schoolcraft County. Nice core. It's not a very big storm, but it's a very healthy storm. So we'll see if that maintains itself here. If it does, I would expect that to also get a warning in the next 10 to 15 minutes. We'll have to see if it sustains, though. And being on the boundary, I would expect it to sustain because it has a good lift there, and there's also a lot of instability out there. So these storms will probably sustain themselves for about, a good long time today. This one is moving mostly east as well. This will be on land for a while. This may briefly head over water, but for the most part, they'll likely be over land. This hail core got big. I don't know, honestly, if this is going to impact you guys in Sault Ste. Marie, but it's going to be close. I think it's going to pass just to your north. It'll be close, though. So Sault Ste. Marie, don't let your guard down. There's two storms off to your west, a little bit north and west, moving your direction. I think it's going to go to your north, but I can't say it with 100% certainty. It's going to move to the Canada side near Gullies. I'm going to probably get destroyed by you guys in the comments. Whatever this bay name is. I'm trying desperately to find another name or something. Winds are insane in Paradise right now, says Eternal. Thank you for that report. Define insane, though. We're talking like 30, 40, 50, 60. Like, what's insane to you? Thank you, Michael. Goulet? Got it. So no warnings in effect currently, which is great news. We could probably end it right now, but given that there's still storms popping up and the environment out there is favorable for severe, I'd expect there to be at least a few more warnings. So likely we're going to stay on here for at least until 6 o'clock to see how it looks like at 6 o'clock. But we're probably going to be on here for a little while this evening. So strap in if you guys want to tune in long term. We'll probably be live here for a good long time here, as long as this looks like it's going to do something, which I think it will, based on what I'm seeing here. This is going to follow US 2 right down toward Gold City, Corrine, Egnet. I am having a hard time today. That doesn't really help me. None of these names help me at all. Goodness gracious, UP. That's going to be over Blaney Park, riding US 2. This is a very potent hail core now over water, which is good news. Thanks. My dad's telling me how to pronounce it. Engadine. My brain to processing ratio is not happening tonight for some reason. I see it, it doesn't form in my brain. You can roast me, guys. I don't care. I'm a human. Yeah, guys, the bot will time you out for a brief period, like 2 or 3 minutes, if you talk in all caps. No all caps is a rule we have here, just to kind of general housekeeping our chat rooms. So if you do talk in all caps, you're going to get a message from the bot that says, hey, you're too loud, go to your timeout corner. It's nothing personal. It's just a rule we have. Yeah, if you didn't mean to, it's all good. It ain't going to ban you. The only way you're going to get banned is if you start some drama or break one of the rules, like conspiracy theories or reporting false info. Stuff like that will get you banned, but just accidentally talking in all caps, you're all good. Yeah, this cell right here down in the Schoolcraft County, just south of Germfast, continues to look impressive. It's going to move into Mackinac County here soon. Again, just north of US 2. Yeah, if your name has caps, that's not an issue. We can't control what your name is. Whoa. Big blue box. New statement coming in here for the western half of Mackinac County. Wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour and penny size hail. So gusts of 40 and penny size hail for western Mackinac. And that includes places like Engadine, Gilchrist, Nabinway, Gold City, Corrine. And I'm not going to try to pronounce that. Yeah, if you guys didn't mean something in chat, it's usually okay. We have pretty strict rules here because we have a lot of bots, a lot of spam that filters in. So our mods do a really good job of just trying to keep chat clean, clear. And if something happens to, kind of slip through sometimes, it happens. Sometimes we have 15,000 people watching, and other times we might be a little bit too strict. But otherwise, we keep it consistent, which is important. So it's nothing personal. Nabinway. That's what I said. Did I not say that? No hail produced in Paradise at my location, just a lot of rain and moderate wind. That is an interesting report because the hail core on this storm was very, very potent over the Paradise area. So if you're even directly close to Paradise, that is a shock to hear no hail fell. Nobbinway. Nobbinway. Okay. Thank you. I'm probably not going to remember it, but I will try. Nobbinway. Another cell popping up here back on the county line of Schoolcraft in Delta. Also back up here just south of Ishpeming. Got a cell continuing to kind of hang out there. Further south, we still have clear. Let's check in on those storms on Lake Michigan. They're blips at this point. They are no more. Detroit area, clear. Rapids, clear. And then Northern Lower is also clear. New statement coming in here for Chippewa County. Let's take back our good old ASMR radar in Canada. Wait for it to pop in here. There it is. They're going for the okay, interesting actually. A little bit of a weird move here. Gusts to 40 and penny size hail for northern, really central Chippewa, north central Chippewa, hugging the lake here. This is going to come close, likely close to Sault Ste. Marie. Man, I don't know. This radar is making it look a little closer than what I thought it would be. So if you're in Sault Ste. Marie, I'd say be prepared for perhaps a storm moving in here in about a half hour, but there's also potential for it to go north and miss you. The storms down here are on that lake breeze boundary that I've been kind of watching for the last hour and a half here. So we'll have to see how this reacts to it as well. But this will likely ride a little east and a little bit south at the same time. But good cores here on these storms, just south of Germfask. These are all statemented here for penny size hail and gusts to 40. Perhaps we're just getting a late start to the day. Outages in Michigan here, we're at 9,800. So that has not grown any at all in the past half hour. Good evening, Tommy. The LP is looking mighty fine right now. There's not a drop of rain anywhere in the LP. It's possible we could get some storms later on this evening, especially if you live north of, we're going to say Muskegon to Tri-City line. This side, you could have some isolated showers and storms. Low chance further south here for anything. So, no relief from the heat. Perhaps some relief up there. What's up, Donna? So no warnings. We're just tuning in here. They're all statements. We did have a couple warnings earlier. We've been on here for about an hour and 15 minutes or so. So far, it's been pretty tame. Got some hail reports, or some hail warnings, I guess, so to speak. Nothing tornadic or wind-wise just yet. So far, so good. Current real feel here at my house is... Give it a second to load in here. Actually, it dropped. It's at 99.2, and the temperature is 95. The horizontal line, you mean this right here? This thing? Or are you talking further downstate? All these red lines here are highways, major highways. Oh, I drew it. I was just kind of talking. That was the center cutoff line. North of that line has a chance of a storm tonight. South of that line, there's a very little chance of a storm. I wish this radar wasn't so old. Yeah, these cells are actually looking a little disorganized for now. I doubt they're going to go warned anytime soon. I'm debating popping off here at 6 o'clock now. And there's no warnings here. There's potential that these storms will go severe here again tonight. But for right now, they don't look close. So I'm contemplating taking a break, getting some food here, and then getting ready to go back live in the event these do become warned. Which, honestly, I do think they will. At some point, but right now they don't appear to be close, as in like 10 minutes or less. Thank you, Kimberly, for that super chat. Appreciate your support of the channel here. I'm in communication right now with Joel here to see if he can cover me if I were to pop out of here and get some food, if anything does have to go severe. So just kind of recapping here, the only real concern right now are these storms here in southern forgot the county. Southern Schoolcraft County as well as Mackinac County. I'm not sure what you're asking if you're watching the heat dome or the weather. We're watching all sorts of weather here. The heat dome is just a side product of what we're dealing with right now. Or should I say the storms are a side product of the heat, should I say? Reverse that. But multiple days, not just today, but tomorrow, Wednesday, and likely Thursday or Friday will have severe potential somewhere in the state. Next 3 days have SPC risks. Likely a bigger risk, I'm going to say likely, but possible, toward that Thursday, Friday time frame. I'm seeing a little bit of a indication we could have a bigger type of event around that day. But for tonight, for tomorrow, and for Wednesday, it'll be kind of like today, is scattered in nature, not too widespread. At least it shouldn't be. Damaging winds, large hail, and then a low chance for a tornado. Typical pop-up summertime thunderstorms here in the state. That's it. But that Thursday, Friday time frame is one to watch for sure. Am I staying hydrated? Yes, I am. All times. Go ahead and filter through our cameras here one more time. Joel's going to cover me here. In the meantime, I'm going to pop out of here and... Why is this not popping up for me? Oh, there it is. We got Ionia, the old stone porch here, facing the west. Beautiful day out there if you take away the heat. Got the Burton camera there at the Guardian HQ, facing south. Got the Wolverine camera there, facing to the northwest. The Charlotte Fire Department camera there, facing to the northwest. Dearborn camera, facing to the west-northwest. Probably my favorite, Harbor Beach. I love this camera so much. There's a lot that happens on here, from the aurora to people just launching their boats, to fishing. There's a lot of stuff that goes on. It's a beautiful camera. It's courtesy of from Guardian, and also coordinated with the Harbor Beach Marina and the city of Harbor Beach letting us do this, which is awesome of them. So thank you to those guys. Manistee camera, close second of my favorites, honestly. Just the view of this one. It's great. Also this one as well, facing to the west in Manistee. But yeah, if you guys want to sponsor a camera, or if your business wanted to advertise a camera, feel free to inbox us. We have opportunities available for you to host a camera, and also help people in Michigan stay safe when we use these cameras for severe coverage. They've come in handy a lot this year already, which is awesome. Joel's going to take over for me here. And if anything else goes warned, but I'm going to pop out of here and roll the intro, or should I say the outro. And if anything else goes severe, Joel will have you the rest of the way for the evening. I'll probably be in the background, if not on stream, helping him. So, with that said, I'm going to go enjoy some dinner. There's currently nothing severe, but with these cells on the boundary here, would not be shocked if these get warned in the next, could be 15 minutes, could be an hour. If it does happen, we'll be back live in the event of severe weather. All right. You guys take it easy. I am going to pop out.